What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me during today's 10,000 steps. Shout out again to all my new subscribers. Welcome. Thank you for joining me for the ride. 5,000 subs by New Year's. That's the goal. That's what we aiming for. So let's see what happens, man. I mean, you set a goal and you go for it. All you can do is try, right? Shoot for the stars and land on the moon. That's what my homie Clarence used to always say. But let's talk about Tiffany Henyard today, man. She is in rare form right now. She is crashing out. She made a few videos just acting real goofy, man. She talking about everybody on her board is corrupt. No. Everybody on both her boards is corrupt. So she's the controller of Thornton, and she's also the mayor of Dalton. So Tiffany Henyard is a perfect example of why I say vote. Not only is it important for you to vote, like nationally for the presidential election, but your local government is very important. If you don't know who is going to occupy these seats and you just sit back and just let whatever happen, this is how you end up with Tiffany Henyard type people occupying those seats. So get out and vote. Learn who it is that's running for certain positions. Don't just sit back and just be like, oh, well, what happens. Because once they're in there, you're stuck with them for 4 years. And this is in the case with Tiffany Henyard. There is literally nothing they can do about her until her term is up. So she's the controller for Thornton. She's the mayor for Dalton. She has been disastrous in both positions. And the end result is she's playing the victim game, as always, when people like her do. She's leaning into identity politics, as people like this always do. She's pretending like she has no idea why people don't like her and that they're just hating on her for no reason. Like, that's the story that she's trying to sell. She's really going with people are just hating on her, and she really has no idea why it is that she's getting the smoke that she is. So in both townships, Thornton and Dalton, those boards are corrupt. That's what she's saying. So everyone's corrupt but her. She's also talking about she was trying to basically compare herself to other areas, saying how they do events for kids and stuff and it's fine, but when she does these things, people talking about it's wasteful spending. Lady, you driving around in a Tahoe that cost $150,000 of taxpayer money. Stuff like that is why they're accusing you of wasteful spending. It is so moronic. Like, I can't even articulate, and I'm pretty good at articulating. I can't even articulate how stupid it is to pay $150,000 for a Tahoe. But these are the things you do when it's not your money. When it's not your money, you make it rain, right? Just like how we had Biden dumping hundreds of billions of dollars over there in Ukraine. He over there making it rain like it's his money when it's not. This is what it does. If it truly was Biden's money, of course he would be a lot more frugal with it. But because it's your money, he doesn't care. He's going to make it rain over there and continue to make it rain. And you're expected to just deal. But we don't need to get on Biden and them right now. They could keep for a different video. We're going to stick on Tiffany Henyard and her absurdity. So everyone's hating on her. She also trying to rally women. She's not pointing out black women specifically, but she's pointing out women. I would assume that She really just wants to say black women. She's trying to say that these things are also happening to her because she's a woman. And if it's her today struggling, it'll be you tomorrow. See, no, this is not happening because you're a woman. She proudly proclaimed how she is the first woman and woman of color, because, naturally, first woman of color, if you're the first woman, that would mean that there was no woman before you, black or otherwise. But she points out she is the first woman and woman of color to hold those positions in either of those areas. And here she is, not only the first woman and black woman to hold these positions in either of those areas, but she also crushes the milestone of holding those positions in both areas at the same time. So yeah, she wants to use her being a black woman as why she's being held accountable. But if people don't like you because you're black, how did you get those positions in the first place? Like you being black and a woman did not stop you from getting these positions in the first place. But you do stupid stuff, and now you're being held accountable, and you're being held accountable by other black people. So they're trying to make it seem like people are just trying to make an example out of you because you're a black woman, you're a single mom, and such. That doesn't work here. The people holding you accountable are black people, and black women at that. Those treasurers, they're black women. Her landlord, from what I've seen, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, her landlord appears to be a woman as well. I believe a black woman, and she's not paying her rent. She's behind 2 months on her rent. Her whole life right now is a disaster. To my understanding, she is making somewhere between 250 to just under 300K a year, somewhere in that range. And, she's not made her rent in 2 months. So if you're making that sort of money, and you're not able to pay your rent, that's pretty telling about your spending style. You're living beyond your means. And here's what's even crazier. She's falling behind on paying for her own bills when, she was throwing a lot of the stuff on the taxpayers. She was going out to Vegas and staying at these expensive hotels and doing expensive dinners, and she was throwing that all on taxpayer dollars. She was using that mayor credit card to run up whatever tabs for herself and whoever else would go with her. Because I'm sure, let's just be for real here. Nobody really talks about this, but some sucker somewhere, some simp beta male who she can just run over is hitting that. Let's just be for real here. People don't really talk about that aspect of it, but somebody. It's not like she's an ugly woman. It's her attitude and demeanor make her far less attractive. So in terms of just her being a woman, she's very well kept. She's very polished. She be sharp. She be having her hair and makeup and nails on point. In terms of her clothes and stuff, she be sharp. So she's not aesthetically an unattractive woman. It's her attitude. But, being that, she's not an ugly woman, I'm sure she got some dude that she dealing with. And if she making it rain when she goes on trips for herself, I guarantee you whatever dude she dealing with is not far behind. He out there benefiting from Dalton's tax dollars as well. That's just the quiet part that I'm choosing to say out loud where nobody else is. She out there having a good time, doing whatever in Sin City with whoever she out there with, because she not going out there alone, y'all. Just cut it out. She's not taking these business trips and out of town meetings. She not jumping on a flight by herself. Let's just not even kid ourselves. But I find it absolutely absurd, and it just references back to Vote, man. It's so important. Vote. Get out there and vote. Do not just let people slither their way into your local government and then you're stuck with their ass for 4 years. But she was very short-sighted. You know, she was doing things very underhanded while she was in power, and it's like she never thought that 4 years would ever come to an end. And once that 4 years came to an end, she was not going to get reelected again. Her political career after this is likely over. You are likely seeing the very end of this woman's political career, because now she's infamous. Her name has become like infamous nationwide. She will likely never hold another government position in Illinois, but she probably can't go anywhere and do anything in politics either. She's nuclear. Like, your name has been on national news, and not in a very flattering way. And then when you get on camera and talk, you say a bunch of nonsense, no account stuff that people have the receipts to prove you're just lying. It's not like you're giving misinformation, or not like you didn't know, or not like they got it wrong. It's not like any of that stuff. No, it's the fact that you are just flat out lying, and they easily have receipts to prove it. So we're winding down to the end of the Tiffany Henyard saga. I don't take any satisfaction in this because, you know, the damage is done. Getting her out of there is going to be good for the people of Thornton and Dalton. Getting her out of there is going to be good, but she's done so much damage while she was in there that can't be undone. I'm sure they'll never make this mistake again. How she was talking about how she was the first black woman to hold these positions or whatever. Man, I don't believe they'll be making that same choice anytime soon, which is truly unfortunate, because any black woman that comes behind her, they unfairly have to deal with the stupid stuff she did. You know, it's not fair at all. You know, but the last black woman we had, you guys, you know how we do. We judge. We're very judgmental creatures. We try to say we're not. We are. So after we just had a black woman acting like this, the next one comes, we're going to be reluctant to trust her again. It just is what it is. She could be a completely different person, completely different background. Henyard has now created a stigma that is now going to affect the next person. And that's unfortunate. You know, it's not right, but that's just the way that it's going to be. I'd be really surprised if next election it's another sister. I really would. I know for the mayor, it's not going to be. For the mayor, it looks like some brother who's going to be running against her that the people really seem to like him. And I don't know anything about this dude, but just him seeming like he got some sense. In contrast to her, he just looks like a breath of fresh air. So he's going to win handily. She knows this. And I believe she's going to go down doing as much damage as she possibly can. She's going to go kamikaze. She knows she's finished. So as punishment for you daring to get her the hell up out of there, she's going to try to create as much chaos for the people of Dalton and for the people of Thornton as she possibly can. She's now making threats talking about she's going to seek arrest for people and all this sort of stuff. I don't know how well that's going to work out. I mean, this is a person who's doing a lot of dirt, accusing everyone else around her of doing dirt. So everyone around you is doing dirt, but you're just the one who looks dirty. So everyone's doing dirt but you. But somehow you're the one that looks so shady. Okay. Such nonsense. But I'm gonna continue to follow up with this one, man, because it's for me it's interesting. You know, it's not amusing, but it definitely is interesting. I'll never find stuff like this to be amusing, because it's just really not. You know, you got people that are in the position to really do good, and they let the position of power go to their head. You know, there's a few others that I can name that have done that. but I'm gonna pass on that for now. But I appreciate y'all connecting with me, man. I'm gonna get back to doing these steps. Thumbs up, leave me them comments, subscribe. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.